we talking about?
This is the best. We're back on the Morning Brew with friends. We're like, what are we talking about? Well, we got a bunch of great stuff. This is Ralph McLish. He's the executive director of the Mexico Osteopathic Medical Association. And we're talking about, remind us what an osteopath actually does.
An osteopath is an unrestricted licensed physician. So
Okay.
like an MD, an osteopathic physician can practice medicine to the same scope.
Mm-hmm. And so basically anything you need to do, any kind of procedure you need.
From family practice to cardiovascular surgery.
That's a huge amount of education there.
Yes.
I can only imagine. But you guys are having a big event coming up, and this is because of prescription drug abuse. And this is a problem that not many people really talk about it, but it is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, right?
Correct. So in 2012, we noticed that during the crisis of 2012, there was a huge epidemic for prescription drug abuse overdose. And what happened was, I think we got in front of the camera and we started talking to the public about this issue, and you started to see a decline in the latter part of 2012 and most of 2013. But I think we got complacent. And what happened was in 2014, we ended up breaking records in our state.
And not the good kind of records.
Correct. So we had the most reported prescription drug overdose deaths in the state's history. So over 530 people had passed from overdosed deaths.
Are these accidental, or are these on purpose, or are these addicts? I mean, where is this coming from?
A very small amount of the deaths were suicide or purpose. So a large percentage of them are by accident. And
is this just people who, like I've gotten pills before, like from the doc, and it's confusing, they're weird, like how do I take this? Is it that kind of confusion is causing this, or is it something bigger?
Well, the confusion of how to take your medication, I mean, there's a lot of people available to instruct patients on how to take medicine, from the physician themselves to a pharmacist. I think...
Or the internet, that's my favorite place.
Correct. What we've seen happening is that a lot of people are sharing their meds with someone. So say you came to me and you were like, my back is killing me right now.
Right.
And I'd go, well, you know what, I have some back pain medicine in my cabinet. Let me get you one.
And then someone else I know has a back pain issue, and I give it to them.
Exactly, and that's called diversion. So diversion is basically when you're sharing your script, or someone is using a prescribed medicine that is not the person whose name is on the bottle.
Okay. And so what are you guys doing to help stop this problem in New Mexico?
Well, the Department of Health, and actually Governor Susana, they've been doing a fantastic job of coming up with processes on how to curb prescription drug abuse. And what I think happened was, after 2012, we started to focus on those processes a little too much, and we forgot to continue the momentum of educating the public about how to safeguard their drugs.
I've been seeing the billboards and TV
New Mexico
commercials.
Prevent.
Yeah, and is that part of your effort?
That is not part of our effort. However, we are in talks to collaborate with New Mexico Prevent. And again, you do see that there is an effort being made by our state legislature, the governor, and advocacy groups to help curb prescription drug overdose. However, what I saw through my research was we kind of pulled away from being in front of the public. And we really need to get back to that. And you know what? The media, you guys did a fantastic job in 2012. You did, and you gave it a lot of coverage. But what happened in 2013? What happened in 2014? And that's not on you. That's on us. We're supposed to provide you with the content.
Well, one of those things that is content is the Prescription Drug Abuse Summit, which is tomorrow.
Correct.
And this is kind of a big deal. Is this a chance for people to basically turn in their drugs too? Or
no, this is not a take-back program.
Okay.
There was a take-back program on September 27th of this year. So those happen maybe once every 6 months.
Okay.
And they're very expensive.
I'm sure.
To take back drugs. However, at this summit, you'll learn FDA guidelines on how to properly dispose of your medication yourself. So as an individual,
you don't want to put it down the toilet or just put it down the sink, do you?
They warn about putting it down the toilet, but actually that's there are drugs that you can flush safely down in the toilet. But we're looking at more disposing it in your trash can, your garbage. So, if you mix it in with some cat litter or coffee grinds that are used, you can throw them out.
Does it neutralize
it doesn't neutralize it. What it does is it keeps the seeker, which is an addict who's looking for pills, from collecting those pills because it's too much work to clean it off. So they move on to an easier, more...
They go somewhere else for it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So there's some interesting statistics you guys brought here too. It's 80% of people who admitted abusing painkillers, so they tempered with opioids, and that's like crazy. Where do you even get opioids?
Well, Oxycontin
of course.
Is an opioid-based painkiller.
Okay.
So.
And that's a super addictive thing, also, right?
Yes, and I like the fact that you're bringing out the word addictive, because these drugs are addictive. Doesn't mean that when you take them that you're going to become an addict, but we need to keep that in the front of our minds, that these drugs can be addictive. It all depends on your personality. I mean, did you have addictive traits in the past? And if so, you should reveal that to the physician prescribing the meds to you so that they can keep a closer look on you. Keep a closer look.
Right.
And make sure that you don't fall
I'm addicted
victim.
to caffeine. I drink way too much coffee. Is that
too.
a red flag for that kind of stuff?
You know what? I don't think so. And that's the mystery of these drugs. I mean, you know what? You could sip alcohol and all of a sudden become an alcoholic. You know what I mean? And other people can drink socially.
Right.
You can drink coffee and not abuse it, and some people might
totally
drink it all day long. So, that's the reason why we need to be careful with diverting drugs to friends and family, because you never know what effect that drug's going to have on that particular individual.
Right. So where are we in this process now? We're talking about some of the bad records we broke in 2014. Are we on track to not break records in 2015, or do we know yet?
You know what? We don't know yet, but I have been involved with the Governor's Council on Prescription Drug Abuse. I have served on many committees, and I think we're on the right track to start curbing prescription drug deaths in this state. I mean, the prescription monitoring program is a fantastic program, and that's totally on the New Mexico Department of Health. That has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with what we're trying to do for the public.
But it's having a big effect on it.
It is.
That's huge.
And I think that our state is really taking this problem seriously, and they're doing as best of a job as they can do to fix it.
That's great. And then the summit will be tomorrow. And is this open for just anybody, or are you trying to recruit physicians?
No. So professionally, I educate physicians through continuing medical education. And that was one of the first steps that we implemented. So proper prescribing has been a huge topic at every single symposium that we've put on. This one was geared completely for the public. So even though we're going to have highly educated individuals on each of the topics that we're sharing,
all of us can learn something.
Exactly. And
That's
it's
great.
actually going to be for people, non-healthcare professionals. And we're really encouraging people to come out. It's at the Crown Plaza, 8 a.m. to noon, free breakfast. Come on out and enjoy yourself and learn a little something about prescription drug abuse.
Sounds like a plan, and we're going to learn a little something about TADX here in just a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew.